The Golden Hour Birth Podcast, a podcast about real birth stories and creating connections through our shared experiences.
Childbirth isn't just about the child. It's about the person who gave birth, their lives, their wisdom, and their empowerment.
We're Liz
And Natalie,
the Golden Hour Birth Podcast, and we're here to laugh with you,
cry with you,
and hold space for you. Welcome to the Golden Hour Birth Podcast. I am your co-host, Liz.
And I'm your co-host, Natalie. And tonight we have Heather on from Two in the Lou. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, y'all. It's great to be on.
If you want to go ahead and share a little bit about you and your family.
All right. So I am Heather Jacobson, and I am originally from Dallas, but moved to St. Louis to be with my husband and his family. Andrew is my husband, and we have two kids, Miles, who's 4.5, and Lottie, who is 2.5.
Awesome. How did you and your husband meet?
We met at a bar in Dallas, Katie Trail Ice House.
That's so cute. So if you want to share a little bit about when you guys decided to start trying for children.
Yeah, so I always knew being a kindergarten teacher and always wanted kids. So I was ready, like, as soon as we got married, I'm like, okay, when can we get kids? And he's always like, let's give it a year, let's move to St. Louis and then wait. So we had planned to wait a year after we moved to St. Louis. And literally, like, a year later, I was like, okay, so it's time to start trying. And I went to the doctor, like, because I was going to be prepared. I was going to have my birth control and be really prepared in, like, March. And the plan was to go to Greece that summer, and we were going to try in Greece. Well, I got off my birth control in March, and my doctor was like, as soon as you get off, you never know. And I was like, well, we don't know how long it's gonna take. And it took a month, so I was very blessed and found out literally the day before we left for Greece that I was pregnant and could not eat Greek food literally for my whole entire pregnancy because I ate Greek food for 2 straight weeks. Even after my pregnancy, I was like, no hummus for me for a very long time. But it was really fun because we told his parents on the trip they were there, and he was kind of annoyed because I wasn't like drinking wine or eating cheese. I was like, no, I'm newly pregnant and I've never been pregnant before. So I was even nervous of feta. So, but yeah, that's how we found out we were pregnant with Miles. And it was a really great pregnancy. I feel like coming back from Greece, I felt a little morning sickness, but I think it was also just like time catching up with me and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, the pregnancy was great and had Miles and stopped working so I could stay home with him. And the delivery went really well.
Can you give us like a little like play-by-play of the day?
Yeah, so my grandparents came in town, and we decided our tradition was going to be go to Shake Shack. So we went to Shake Shack that night, and I got my burger, and woke up in the morning and went ahead and got my Chick-fil-A, went to Chick-fil-A and got Chick-fil-A, and then checked into, I was induced, and, sorry if I'm talking really fast, slow down. I was induced, and he came pretty quickly. He was there by that evening, and all my family was there because it was pre-COVID. And you know what sucked though was like he came at like 11:55, so that counted as my first night. And by the time I was like cleaned up and everything, my family didn't even get to come into the room till like 2 a.m. probably. They were like waiting, and then transferring me to my new room was like 5 a.m, and that was my first night. So I had
silly that they count that.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that at Mercy, but I remember my sister delivered at Mobap, and she was like, I'm holding this baby in.
I wish I would have
after midnight.
And because the day would have been really cool too. It would have been 3/19/19. My daughter's birthday is 1/21/21. So it would have been cool. 3/18/19 is fine. It's still. And then I was moved over. I did have a lot of trouble with nursing in the beginning with Miles. Him not latching or anything like that. Took him 6 weeks to finally latch. But then we had a really good year of nursing, and it was really trouble with like taking the bottle and me leaving him. I think a lot of moms go through that. And
how did you get through those like first 6 weeks? Did you like supplement
did. No, you know what I used? I think I supplemented like the first couple like days just because they were like, you have to supplement. They really pushed that on me really fast. I was like, no, I don't want to. But it wasn't, my milk wasn't coming in fast enough. I ended up using the nipple shield. And then I actually joined, I went to, literally came home from the hospital that Thursday, I think, and Saturday I was up at Kangaroo Kids. My husband was going to sit in the car for me, and I was going to go to like a lactation group, and went to a lactation group. And I was at Kangaroo Kids for the whole first year of Miles' life before COVID hit. So I found like two of my really best friends, close friends there, and would just go in there every Thursday and Saturday and sit on that couch and talk about nursing and pumping. And
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I was so nervous to go. I never went to a lactation group.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Really
Yeah.
encouraged
I was so
me.
nervous.
Yeah.
It is scary.
Yeah.
It is. Kangaroo Kids felt very like laxed.
Yeah.
And then I think I tried one more. I think I went back to Mobap, and they got him to latch like right away. They're like, look, it's just like this. And then I go home and
Yeah. I had that with
Didn't do it.
the lactation consultant coming to the house. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's you're doing good." I'm like, "Okay." And then as soon as she leaves, I'm like, "What? What happened?"
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It sounds about right. Like when people are around, they do great on something. And then like I would take my daughter to like take a bottle, and she would take it in front of everyone, and then we would go home and I'd try again, and she'd be like, "No,
she was
no."
like,
Yeah.
that's kind of how Miles was like. He was not good at bottles unless I wasn't there. And if I wasn't there, he was usually crying. So
How did you find Kangaroo Kids? Because I've never heard of that.
my cousin was very, I don't want to say pushy, but she was really wanted me to nurse. Like that was the journey she went through, and she wanted me to experience it. So she was from Portland Googling like lactation consultants and different places to go. And I think she found Kangaroo Kids for me and sent me that. And it was actually down the street from me. Now I live 2 minutes away from it.
Oh, that's really cool. I wish I knew about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a clothing store.
It is. It's a consignment store. And then, but she also does lactations. And she used to have like a toddler in me class too before COVID. And that's where Miles and I would go. And I was learning to crawl there. And I was like, is there anything for bigger kids? Because he's getting big now. But it was nice.
That's so
cute.
sweet.
Yeah.
So how was your postpartum with Miles?
I mean, it went really nice. I joined Kangaroo Kids. I feel like I was doing that there. And then I was, I had a couple of other mom friends who had just had babies. So, I mean, really when it got tricky was a year at COVID, because then I had no one here. I'm from Dallas, so all my friends and family are there. And it was interesting because in Dallas, they're a lot more lax. So my friends, I'm calling them and they're like, oh, we're going out. I'm like, we're not going out here. I have no one. Like, I was getting more depressed being here because I wasn't seeing anybody. And even my in-laws and stuff were being very cautious, which I understand.
Yeah.
And then it let up and, it got better. We ended up moving. I guess Miles was a year, and we decided to get pregnant with Lottie because they're only 22 months apart. Mm-hmm. So pretty much at that year, we're going to have another one, and we moved to Glendale, and I joined another mom group, the Kirkland mom groups, and really found a really big support system there. And going through being pregnant with Lottie, I feel like that pregnancy went really well. I'm trying to think back. I don't know why it's only been 2 years, but I can't remember anything like that stands out. I mean, we were moving, I was packing, trying to get everything organized, really excited. Mm-hmm. Was super excited when I found I was a girl.
Yeah.
The face I made when I found, like, everyone in my family has always had girls first. So when I cut that cake and it was a boy, my face was like, looked like I was going to cry. But now I cannot imagine my life without a boy. Like,
yeah.
I love them to death. So I was pretty excited for my girl just because I've always been a girly girl. And I have all sisters, so that was fun. Mm-hmm. So we did the same thing. I was induced again with Lottie. But we it was during COVID, so only none of my family came in town or anything like that. Andrew and I decided to make it a tradition. We went to Shake Shack that night, got our burgers, and his parents, which is nice to induce with your second child, especially because I know, like, my in-laws are there. I could say bye to Miles. Like, he would at least understood a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then, but as we were on the way to the hospital, I was actually having contractions. And when I got there, it was already a 4. So I think I probably would. I kind of wish I would have, like, waited to see, but I'm such a planner.
You're a teacher.
I'm a teacher. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I was a kindergarten teacher. And so, yeah, I'm a big planner. So we got in there, and it was definitely a different pregnancy because I was having to wear a mask the whole time. And it was nice, though, because instead of going in the morning, I went in at night, which they say you, like, always to do that. But I think my doctor didn't offer it to me the first time. And I love my OB. And I think also Miles was supposed to come on a weekend. Anyway, she did offer it to me this time. So it was nice. I went in. I actually went to sleep, fell asleep, woke up that morning. And I remember she was, like, ready pretty quick because I was at a 4. So it was literally just slept that night, woke up at, like, 6 in the morning. And I told him, I was like, I'm ready to push. And like, no, you're not ready. I'm like, she is coming out, Andrew. Go get somebody. My doctor got a ticket. She was leaving the gym and speeding to get there. She got a ticket. I think he let her go, but she got pulled over and had Charlotte. And that delivery went really well, too. Nursing definitely came easier with that, but I didn't nurse as long because I had a lot of anxiety with having a toddler run around. So I did a lot of pumping with Lottie. It was like, I want to say I nursed maybe for 3 weeks, and I was like, I think she cried a lot, and Miles was running around, so I just, like, I couldn't handle it. So I pumped for 5 months, and then I think I need to start supplementing, and the supplementing was so much easier. I'm like, oh my gosh, formula. What is this stuff, man? So then I, like, stopped pumping, and I was like, man, this has made life so much easier.
Yeah. Pumping's hard.
Yeah.
It's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
I was, like, pumping. So they would go down for a nap. I would pump. They would wake. Like, I was pumping during, like, my only break time. So that was really hard. And then, like, at 5 months, I went through, after having Lottie, I started noticing I was just really sad. And that actually is when I stopped pumping. So that's really, you'd think I'd be a little bit, like, feel lightened. But I started just crying a lot. I wasn't feeling like myself. So I started I went and saw my doctor, and I got on Lexapro, and some people are pro medicine, some people aren't. And it's definitely helped me a lot. I feel not as emotional. I feel like I was constantly, maybe I'm also just getting used to being in St. Louis and loving it. I mean, I feel like the support system here is amazing. But I feel, I'm not as emotional as I used to be, and I feel like I'm just more focused on my kids, and it helps me.
Yeah, good.
So I feel like I said a lot, like, got out a lot really quick.
Well, we're pro medicine around here, so I'm happy that you found something that works for you and, like, makes you feel like yourself again. Because motherhood is hard, as we were talking about before we started this.
Yeah. Motherhood, man.
Yeah.
Takes it
It's a trip.
Did you guys ever talk about living in Dallas?
My husband has his family has a small business here.
Oh,
So he
okay.
really wanted to work for the family business.
Gotcha.
And you know what? Now having kids in St. Louis, I remember growing up in Dallas, but I don't remember, like, the resources there. Here, I just feel like there's so many cool free things for kids to do. I mean, that's kind of why I started Two in the Loo, was because I love getting my kids out. People are always like,
Yes.
go and do something every day. You're crazy. I'm like, no, it's good for me and the kids. Like, I feel like I get to socialize with other moms and get out and see people, and y'all get to do something fun. So that's why I started Two in the Loo, is to post things for families to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going back to, is that I think St. Louis, like, I love raising my kids here, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been really awesome.
That's really fun to hear. And I love that you started Two in the Loo, which, like, when did you end up starting that?
I started it a year after I had Lottie. Well, because I guess COVID, and then, I started posting about things to do.
Yeah.
And
Is it Is the 2 in lieu you and a friend?
No, that would actually be really nice so that I can have someone help me. It's just two kids and St.
Okay.
Louis, 2 in the lieu. Yeah.
Got it.
I love that. It's so catchy. It's so
I don't
cute.
know I don't even know where it came or how I thought of it, but
Yeah.
I do like it.
So what are like some favorite places that you and your kids are like, always going back to?
I mean, we always go to the libraries because
Yes.
I like air conditioning.
I feel like you
and
posted about like the Merrimack Valley one.
The library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a picture.
Recently?
Yeah.
No, but we like that one. That's a good one. No, I had gone there. I probably have done a reel. It's probably another St. Louis mom. I'm sure.
I don't follow that many of you. I'm also just like so sorry. I'm like just coming off of like 2 nights of like not
have a
sleeping.
6-month-old.
So I feel like I'm just like really lost right now and I'm so sorry. This
And
is not how I usually
moved
am.
This weekend.
I did move this
Oh
weekend.
my gosh.
Yeah.
So I'm just really sorry if I'm like
I totally
not
get that.
here.
I feel like I constantly have mom brain. Like, I just blame mom brain all the time. Like, I don't even know what you're trying to ask me my favorite place. And I'm like, what are my favorite? Like, that's all I do is post places to go. And I'm like, what are our favorite places? I mean,
Definitely the libraries.
the library. My kids love Magic House. I love the train museum or transportation museum
Oh,
because
yeah.
of
Yeah.
the station
Fave.
station. Like, that one room is just nice. I can kind of sit there and they can play.
Yes.
So is 2 in lieu a blog also? Is it Instagram mainly?
Just Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not that great at writing. I like creating content. I like
Yeah. The visual.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
because I like to like every single time before I go to like a new city, we always look up restaurants. I want to see the pictures. I Google or Instagram, whatever you search for. Like when we went to Naples, I searched the Naples mom group and like looked at things to do there.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I feel like every single time I use Instagram for things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Such a good resource.
Yeah, restaurants.
Yeah,
before I even go to a
restaurants.
restaurant, I want to see pictures.
Yeah,
so
same.
I'm always looking up pictures of restaurants and things for new kids,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Cocktails.
cocktails.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So people can connect with you at 2 in the
Two
Lou.
on Instagram. Yeah.
The number 2?
Number 2.
Number
Yeah.
2 for people.
That is a big thing. I feel so bad because I made a reel not too long ago for breweries and 4 hands. It's a number. And I wrote the 4. And then second shift, that's also a number. And I wrote 2 and 4. I'm like, oh my gosh, people are going to probably notice, but maybe they don't. I don't know. I felt bad. I was like, mom brain.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have plans like for the future of the Instagram?
You know, I just started posting, like, I was doing Map Out Monday where I posted, like, a thing to do every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I just expanded where I'm posting, like, multiple things to do every day of the week to give people more options. And then I even more recently, I started posting things to do on the weekends. So I feel like that's been really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out on Friday, I'm going to be posting, like, some mom groups, some resources for different moms to
Do you
find.
ever do meetups?
Oh, yes, we did. We started the Playdate crew. Ashley and I, she's a makeup artist, and it is on Facebook. You have to add us because to keep the location just for privacy for people who don't feel safe being all on Instagram. And we're meeting up like once a month and trying to connect to other moms. I'm in a mom group that's like just with like certain districts, but that's why we wanted Playdate group to be like inclusive for everybody. So it doesn't matter where in St. Louis you live, you can come and be in the Playdate crew and
That sounds
meet other
fun.
moms. Yeah.
That's fun.
I've been saving all of your weekend things because I'm like, I can't take the kids on the weekdays because I
Yeah.
work and like they go to daycare. But the weekends ones, I have like 5 saved already.
Yeah, the weekends. That's where it's at. You got dad's
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
Yeah, or we do like early mornings.
Yeah.
We'll get up like the kids. We trade off who
Sleeping
gets to
in.
sleep in.
That's nice.
Yeah, so sometimes
Do you
I'll
do
take
that
kids.
Saturday and Sunday, or do you just do okay?
Yeah, because we both work.
Yeah.
Well, when
Oh.
we work, Jason's laid off right now, but yeah. So it's really nice.
Yeah. How late? What do you count as sleeping in? How late do y'all get to sleep?
So for me, I'm usually up by 9. 50, 8 o'clock.
yeah.
Because I just can't sleep
Yeah.
in further, but usually I'll send the kids in around 9:30
Yeah.
when it's Jason's turn. Like, where's Daddy? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you go knock on the door?
So you try to get them out when he's sleeping.
I I'm better in the winter and fall. Summer, it's too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for me. I don't like being outside.
Yeah. I complain about the summer, but then I also complain about the winter. Like the spring and fall.
Yeah. We're like
That's short
hiking
windows.
people. Well, me and the kids, not Jason. So we'll go hiking in the mornings. It's really nice and like cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not hot.
Another. I should put her playgroup on my post. I didn't even think about that. Explore. She has the playgroups that do the hiking.
I want to do that, but it's always during the week.
It is. She is
Yeah.
doing like family. I know she's doing like family weekends every once in a while. I remember that.
That's fun.
That sounds fun. Do you said something about the location on the Playdate crew?
Yeah, it's on. Oh, to get to the playgroup crew, you just search on Facebook, and then I just post every week.
Okay.
What we're doing, or not every week, every month.
Yeah. I want to do that.
Yeah, you should.
That
definitely
sounds
come.
fun.
Yeah.
My son would just loves other kids. Well, awesome. Well, do you have any advice for new moms or anyone going through postpartum right now?
I think it's find a support system. Reach out to me. I will help you find a support system. I think that has definitely been my saving grace, is just having friends. And I definitely have felt alone not being from St. Louis. So reach out to me and I will help you find a support system.
I love that. Even though you're not even from here, you
Yeah.
have you seem like you have such a wonderful support system. And I love that for you. That's awesome.
People are always like, wait, you're not from here? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not from here.
Yeah. You really
I like it. I'll
put
claim
yourself
it now,
out there.
Yeah. I try. I feel like I used to not, until I moved here, and now I feel like I'm more of an extrovert.
Yeah.
You go.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
My friend always says, "You're just always beat bopping around." I don't know. I was like when she says that.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me. This was so
Yeah.
fun.
So nice meeting you.
Yeah, great meeting y'all too.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Golden Hour Birth Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed our discussion and found it insightful and beneficial. Remember, the Golden Hour Birth Podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you. If you appreciate the content we bring you each week, consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcast platform or sharing the show with your friends and family. Your support helps us reach more people and continue creating valuable episodes. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us on our website, www.goldenhourbirthpodcast, or connect with us on social media. We value your feedback and want to make sure that we're delivering the content you want to hear. Before we sign off, we'd like to express our gratitude to our incredible guests who joined us today. We are honored that they trust us enough to be so open and vulnerable. We're grateful for their time and willingness to share their stories with us. If you're interested in taking the conversation further with us, join us on our Facebook group, The Golden Hour Birth Circle. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode, so be sure to tune in. Until then, stay golden and remember to take care of yourself. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Golden Hour Birth Podcast. Bye!